start the session, this is something we need to understand. What happens and, why menstruation happens. It's actually not cleansing of the body. See, every month women have to ovulate physiologically in order to make sure that they are fertile and, their body is getting them ready, or the womb is getting ready to host a child and, get pregnant. And at the end of the month, in case if pregnancy doesn't happen and fertilization doesn't happen, this uterus lining, which was formed, sheds out, and the uterus starts to build up new lining all over again in the next month. So the bleeding that we see is simply the uterine lining shedding month on month, and nothing more than that. It's not the bad blood that's kind of coming out. What is the age? I think we have a question here that, 13-year-old daughter and she's still not started her periods. Anything to worry?
See, nowadays, Apurva, most girls, even start menstruating by the age of 9. And that is not really early. That is normal for a lot of girls now. And a lot of girls do start menstruating late. So at 13, if a girl is not menstruating, what we need to understand or look out for is, have the secondary sexual characters developed? What we mean by secondary sexual characters is the breast, the pubic hair, and the axillary hair. If those have developed, the parents don't have to worry. They can as well wait for a couple of years. Even by 15 or 16 age, if the menstruation starts, it's absolutely all right. However, if by age 13 or 14, the secondary sexual characters have also not developed, then probably the parents have to take the child to an endocrine specialist. What to do?
The moment someone says irregular periods, forget about doctors. I think even mothers or, grandmothers, they start telling PCOS hoga. PCOS hi hoga karke. So it's crazy that people have that kind of information that irregularities in the periods is bad, and, that it could be some sort of hormonal variation. But sometimes this is overdone. We need to understand that the first couple of years when girls start having their menstrual periods, they are having an ovulatory cycles. As I said, if you are not ovulating, which is normal in the first couple of years, uterus doesn't form, and that is the reason why they might take 1 or 2 months before they actually have regular cycles. Which is why the first 1 or 2 years after you start having periods, if your cycles are a little irregular, please don't get too worried. Having cycles at 1 or 2 months of interval is completely all right during.
I think first, before I even get on to how to manage painful periods, I would like to mention what would be painful periods. So I think, everyone has a different pain threshold as to what is painful for them. So what might be painful for one woman may not be painful for the other woman. So any pain during periods which disrupts the normal life, a girl can't go to school, a woman can't go to college, or a woman doesn't manage to get out of bed those 1 or 2 days, that hampers her daily life. Then that is when we would say that the periods are painful. Now, the reasons for painful periods could be as simple as infection in the tummy around the uterus, the reproductive organs, the fallopian tubes, the ovaries, and stuff like that, which a gynecologist can very easily understand on examination. It can also be sometimes, very tight opening of the mouth of the womb, very difficult to diagnose, practically impossible to diagnose. And that is why, the grandmothers would say that once you have a baby, it is going to be all right. Probably the dilatation which happens during labor breaks certain fibers and something good happens, and that pain disappears. But what we need to know importantly is painful periods can be a symptom of a disease called endometriosis. I think today would not be the right day to discuss endometriosis. We can probably keep it for another day. But it's a difficult situation where women have very painful periods, painful intercourse. It's a progressive disease and can cause a lot of problems. I think most importantly, one needs to make a diagnosis as to why the painful periods are occurring. Treatment becomes very simple after that. I'm sure there'll be some questions coming up regarding painful periods. Maybe if we have time, we can discuss the treatment at that point in time.
Sure. So I think, as you rightly said, some women might be having a little more prone, or they're just have a slightly higher tendency to experience pain more. And some on the other side might actually have a medical condition because of which the pain is happening. And, I want to take this moment to say, if you're having pain during your periods, it is not required for you to undergo through that pain, and it is absolutely all right for you to go ahead and take a painkiller and, relieve yourself out of that suffering. And you're not going to really achieve anything by putting yourself through that pain.
Well, honestly, we can't tell you if you're menopausal yet. With age, and the answers are already there in the question itself. She's 35 years old. Periods used to be regular. Now they're shortening. Now with age, the number and quality of eggs start to decrease. And as the number and quality of eggs start to decrease, the cycles also start to get shorter and shorter. And that also tells us that, yes, there is a problem. However, between the cycle shortening and menopause happening, there could be a 6-month gap. There could be a 10-year gap. So it's very difficult to tell you based on just this one history that how much longer is it to menopause. Certain blood tests can help us, but again, there is no definitive answer because some women unfortunately can suffer like this with short cycles, long cycles, varied cycles, heavy and so on and so forth for almost 10 years before they finally achieve menopause.
One point I would want to add here is, of course, if you've already had babies and if you've had children before, this reduction in cycle might not be of too much of a significance for you. But if you are still young and you are seeking fertility, and if your cycle reduced from a regular 28-day to 21-day, then you should definitely be concerned and get into the fact that, your ovarian reserve is probably, ticking, and you should definitely see a doctor.
Right. So for everyone viewing, हमारी questions की लाइनें खुली हैं. So there is a question mark button there where you can post all your questions. We're still going to take all the questions at the end once we finish the general discussions. We've had some almost about 60, 70 questions come in. So we're still trying to finish all of them. Moving on to the next segment, we've been inundated with queries regarding the menstrual cups. So I thought it would be only right that we dedicate some time specifically for the menstrual cups. So, Apurva, are cups safe for college and school-going girls?
So, I want to take this in two aspects. I think when the person is asking me this question, I am presuming that, they are talking about one as virginity as a concern, that do women who have not had sexual intercourse, can they go ahead and use menstrual cup? And of course, the other segment wherein, young girls who are in school, can they go ahead and use a menstrual cup? So with respect to, I think, the virginity aspect of it, I can, make it very clear that even women who've not had sexual intercourse can use menstrual cups, and it is not going to really rupture or damage their hymen and, not going to really affect their virginity in any which way. Of course, they might have a little difficulty in insertion per se. When we are talking about school girls, I think it is more about educating them as compared to anything else. Right now, I think our kids are much more advanced with respect to understanding stuff than we are. So they know things much better than we are. So I don't think if we are able to convey them, and technically any girl who's had a menstruation is capable or fit medically to use a menstrual cup, and it's not going to affect her virginity in any which way.
But don't you think there's going to be a social stigma in our country regarding a girl? Which
is that is exactly the reason why I said medically. Medically there is absolutely no contraindication. We've had so many colleagues in our med school who who had come down from US and who were already using tampons at that time, and for us when we were in med school to kind of have someone use tampons was a big deal. And now I time for a menstrual cup. So
Dr.
I mean,
before you ask me the next question, could you just in a very short because I'm sure most of the people who are listening wouldn't even know what a menstrual cup is all about. So if you could just give a gist of what it is, what is it?
So menstrual cup is a small silicone-based cup which is used to insert into the vaginal space, and it fits snugly into the cervix. So when we said that you have your menstrual flow or bleeding, it is coming from the uterus. Now cervix is actually the mouth of the uterus. Now imagine a tap. The cervix is actually the tap for the uterus, and that's how the blood is kind of flowing out. And you fit a cup around the opening of the tap. so that the blood accumulates in that cup. You remove the cup every time you feel that it is filled with blood. You clean the blood and place it back up.
I really wouldn't bring it down to safety per se. Using pads, there is chafing of the sides. It's difficult to wear. The pads get soaked, and so on and so forth. So no woman really likes to wear the pad per se, which is why most women want to switch to the tampons. If there was something available which could be inserted inside, collected all the blood, she could go about with her normal life and activities, and whether it's going to the beach or all other kind of things. Obviously, it would be fantastic, and I think the menstrual cups provide just that against the pads. Not to mention that there are biodegradable ones, and they are now eco-friendly and stuff like that. So definitely makes more sense.
Absolutely not. So once you place the cup rightly, I mean, I have to mention this, once you place the cup rightly into the vaginal space, you technically will not be able to feel them, and there is no sensation at all, because technically the cervical region does not have too many of innervations, which is the reason why you just have a suction effect, and beyond that, nothing else. So you will definitely not feel them. And, technically you can even have intercourse and, your partner also will not be able to feel the cup. So it's so simple, safe and effective. Again, we are placing the menstrual cup into the vaginal region, and it is way away from the bladder. So it does not really trigger UTI, and in fact, it probably protects you from UTI, because all of us know that, when you're having heavier flow that way and you have to keep changing your pads, there is some amount of irritation that is happening between the urethral region and the pad per se. So in fact, during periods is when you have a higher chances of having UTI if you're using a pad, and which you can completely take away if we are using the menstrual cup per se.
Absolutely.
So I think, yeah, this is a good question. If we are using menstrual cup for the first time, can we go ahead and try it by ourselves, or should I go to a gynae?
Well, I think I'm the best person to answer this because when you and I started talking about the menstrual cup, there was no way for me to understand how to be going about using a menstrual cup, because there would be patients coming in to ask. So I went online and I was looking at the various blogs, YouTube channels and stuff like that. And there are fantastic videos which talk about how exactly the menstrual cup needs to be folded, the various ways to do it, in what position one should be sitting or standing or lying down, and so on and so forth. All the difficulties that you can have in the initial phases. So no, I don't think so. But again, now would be you answering. You probably will answer better. But I don't think you need to go to your gynec for the first time when you're using it. You should be able to do it yourself. If you probably have difficulty, you can go to your gynecologist. Am I correct, Dr. Purva?
Absolutely. I think we should quickly move to the next question as well, to kind of, have a complete version of this.
Yes. So I bought a cup, but having a lot of pain for insertion. What do I do?
So I think this kind of comes as a continuity to your previous question that way. And I absolutely agree with you that in case if you are a little tech savvy, and if you are comfortable with the whole idea of how a menstrual cup works, then I don't think it should be a problem for you to kind of get used to it. And, the first time I used it, I had to call my friend, 4 or 5 times and, talk to her about how everything goes on and so forth. But yes, in case if you are a little hesitant and if you are uncomfortable, and as in this situation, in case if you are experiencing pain, then probably you are not doing it right. Otherwise, it's a very, very simple procedure that needs to be done. So if you are experiencing pain, or if you, of course, have any difficulty in insertion, then yes, you should definitely see a gynae and, help you through the process, instead of completely abandoning the idea of taking up a menstrual cup. And I have to add to this, I've had patients who've come to me, I think, I can't say patients, I've had about, I think, 2 girls who've come to me with, they've inserted their menstrual cup and they could not get it out. So they were really scared, and, they had come to me in a panic mode. And yeah, we helped them and, showed them how to kind of work around it. And now they're very, very comfortable. So again, as a gynecologist, do you think the shift is right from moving on to a menstrual cup?
Again, the answer remains the same. If you had asked me 3 years ago, I would have said, what we haven't heard of in the last 20, 25 years, how could suddenly something like that become so important? The traditional ways of using the sanitary pads is probably the best thing to do. But now I'm totally convinced that the menstrual cups are probably fantastic. That is probably the first line that women should try. If they have difficulty with it, or for some reason they're not happy with the menstrual cup, is when they should be trying other modalities. What is your take on that?
So
What would you?
and I think menstrual cups are like that. I sincerely want to urge all women that now when you are when your girls start having their menstruation for the first time, please get into the habit of using a menstrual cup. Probably that is going to be the best way to move forward. There are many reasons, and it is insane. It's not just the eco-friendly manner or the environmental factors per se. Of course, that also matter. But along with that, there have been many studies which are coming up that the VOC, that is the volatile organic components that are coming from the menstrual pads that we are using, can cause multiple health-related conditions, including long-term development of diabetes, thyroid, and other hormonal-related abnormalities, because the genital regions are extremely have the capacity to absorb, and they've said in general manner, like someone who's not had sexual intercourse or young girls usually require a smaller cup, that is a small cup, and women who've already had childbirth, who are tall and well built, probably require a medium to large kind of cups. Yes, this is a major trial and error formula that we use, and there are only 4 sizes that we have. So it shouldn't be so much of a problem. But yes, 2 things that we can understand is, if you are using a larger cup, you have higher chances of having pain and discomfort. So which means that you should probably come down to 1 cup size lower. And if you have any leaks when you are using your menstrual cup, then that means that you are probably using a larger cup and then should come back to using a smaller cup. So that multiple brands that are available, and you can check online that there are a wide variety of brands. The only difference between a lot of brands is certain do not have a hook or a loop to kind of hold the menstrual cup, and some have a smoother bottom. Beyond that, I think a couple of brands that really come off my head is, I think, PSafe. PSafe have multiple menstrual hygiene products that they are putting out, and wonderfully all of them are organic and very safe for women overall for their menstrual hygiene. So yes, I think that is one brand I would definitely ask you to look out for. So I think both of us are fertility specialists, and I think it is tricky for us not to take this question. So if someone is actually trying to get pregnant, is it safe to use a menstrual cup?
Absolutely. There is no problem in using the menstrual cup at all. And the very fact that it does not provide contraception goes in its favor as well, that one can easily get pregnant and it does not increase infection. It does not cause any other problem in the vagina or into the uterus wherein future fertility could be affected. So definitely, if one is using the menstrual cup, there is no harm in using it when they're trying to get pregnant.
So I think the concept for this comes into the fact that there have been incidences of misplaced copper-T. So that is one concern people have. And of course, they have this concept that, okay, in case if baby is coming through the vaginal space, which is there inside of the tummy, in case if we place back a cup inside, what if it gets sucked into? So we actually are not placing anything into the uterine cavity. We are still having it inside the vagina. So there is a huge muscle layer, that is a pelvic floor muscle layer, which is actually preventing any ascent of structures from the vaginal region into the space. So 100%, I can say that there is no possibility of the cup getting displaced into deeper tissues. Yes, maybe you might have a little difficulty in getting the cup out by yourself, but it can be technically easily be achieved even by your partner. You know, you probably need not do if you have a partner that should be able to kind of get it up as well. So I think as you were saying, if we have to kind of list the advantages of menstrual cup per se, so does wearing, you know, can I go to a beach wearing a cup, or probably go for a swim wearing a cup?
Absolutely. I think that is going to be a huge difference between wearing the menstrual, the sanitary pad and wearing a cup, wherein the cup gives you the freedom to do any of that, go for a swim, go to the beach. So I think this is a huge point in favor of the menstrual cup.
Yeah, so as I said, there is a suction that is created between the cervix, so the blood is not going to spill out. So you can definitely go for a swim, go to the beach, and even probably wear your bikini without being concerned of the fact that there's something that's going to show up.
Right. Lastly, Apurva, where can one get the menstrual cup? Where is it available? Is it very easily available in the pharmacies?
That's a very, very important question, because I think none of the pharmacies nowadays have menstrual cups. Probably only very few pharmacies do have menstrual cups. Fortunately, it is very easily available online, very, very easily available online. You can pick it up on Amazon. You can just go to PSafe website, or probably even if you look out on Insta also, you will be able to kind of see multiple brands that are there, and pick it up online. My recommendation would be to really pick it up online, instead of going out right now from medical shop to medical shop without knowing if they actually have the cup or not.